Hare Krishna. Somebody can please lead the invocation prayers.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I can do Prabhu. Om Ajnanatimrindasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshurmittam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadotam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gope Sa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. So today we will cover Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21 from verse number 13 onwards. But let's begin with you all first explaining one or more points or asking one or more questions from before.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So we had started Unit 12 and Chapter 21 we had started, which was basically a conversation between Manu and Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni was a son of Brahma and he did austerities for like 10,000 years. It was basically devotional service, not Ashtanga Yoga for some siddhi for himself, but basically to, follow the order of the Supreme Lord Prabhu.
Okay, very good.
I wish to add, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Unlike anybody who has got material entanglement, and people, they want to be one with the Lord. And the third is a perfect, pure devotee. Karama Muni preferred to be a pure devotee in transcendental service. This is what I have understood.
Okay. So wanting to continue devotional service. Okay.
Prabhuji, you have given a lot of insight for us to narrate our realization, starting with 14.
So we'll wait for that.
Okay.
Rest of you, any questions, comments, realizations?
Kardamuni Maharishi was able to please the Lord very quickly, Prabhuji, but other sages like Valmiki and Vishwamitra and all took ages like about 50,000 years, but his bhakti made him to realize God in 10,000 years, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very good. It is because of bhakti.
Bhakti.
That Kardama Muni was able to please Brahmaji and please the Lord as well. Okay.
Because he did direct prayers to the Lord, he could see the actual form of the Lord. That is what we see in all the Krishna temples.
Okay, very good.
Kardama Muni preferred benediction from the Lord to have a suitable life partner in pursuit of his devotional service, economic development, as well as to be a pure devotee.
Yeah, very good. This is going to be the crux of our discussion today about wanting to be a pure devotee or wanting material desires from the Lord. So we'll have a heavy conversation on that very soon. Any last questions, comments, realizations before we continue? Okay, so we will continue from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, verse number 13 onwards, just to lay the context of where we are. So Vidura inquired about the dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu, because Swayambhuva Manu, Kardama Muni are not ordinary personalities. Lord will be appearing as son of Kardamuni and Devahuti. Hence, there is direct connection with the Lord. Hence, this is not some unwanted subject matter, but it is Krishna Katha. Therefore, Vidura is interested. Kardamuni did austerity for 10,000 years because Kardama Muni wanted to fulfill instruction of Brahmaji to procreate. So whenever Grahastha responsibility or ruling responsibility is given to a responsible personality, generally they will first go in for meditation. Kardama Muni did intense meditation for 10,000 years, and Lord is pleased, and Lord gave darshan. So the beautiful description of Lord's beauty is described that Kardama Muni was seeing. And now from verse number 13 onwards, Kardama Muni will offer prayers to the Lord. So you all have assigned verses for you to present. So from the assigned verse to each one of you, I request you to first please read the translation, and then you can present the 2 points. The first point is the subject matter of the prayer, or what's the small sentence or a suitable title for the verse. So that is point number 1. And the second point is some key points from Srila Prabhupada's purport. So we did discuss verse number 13 at our last class, but in terms of context, I will again repeat verse number 13 and the key points. So I will read the translation. So verse number 13. The great sage Kardama said, O supreme worshipable Lord, my power of sight is now fulfilled, having attained the greatest perfection of the sight of you, who are the reservoir of all existences. Through many successive births of deep meditation, advanced yogis aspire to see your transcendental form. So the subject matter or a suitable title of this verse is desirable desires, meaning, the other one is perfection of the eyes. And key points from Srila Prabhupada's purport is that Lord is the reservoir of all existence and pleasure. Next point is that we should situate ourselves in the mode of goodness more and more for achieving pleasure by engaging in service of the Lord. And last point Prabhupada says is that we should use our body, mind, and soul in devotional services. Now you all will do your respective individual verse presentations. Mother Chandra Aunty is first for verse number 14.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Text 14. Your lotus feet are the true vessels to take one across the ocean of mundane nuisance. Only persons deprived of their intelligence by the spell of the deluding energy will worship those feet with the view to attain the trivial and momentary pleasures of the senses, which even persons rotting in hell cannot attain. However, O my Lord, you are so kind that you bestow mercy even upon them. So in this, according to this verse, how to get in what is the intention of the subject matter is how to get rid of the miseries of this material world. That is how to achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. The key points are the material desires are less intelligent desires, whereas the devotional service is the intelligent desire. Demonic persons don't know what is the actual ultimate perfection. Therefore, therefore they think only sense gratification is the highest goal of the highest goal. The Prabhupada says is these people have spoiled brains. That is Atta Meta Saha. And these peoples are who pray demigods and do some yoga and meditation and aspire material enjoyment. Whereas Kardama Muni also knew that these people are fools. So here is the senses, body, mind, and soul are all used for Lord's service. And actually, intelligent perfectionist should aspire nothing but the Lord's lotus feet of the Lord to cross the ocean. Kardama Muni says, by adding bhakti in meditation, one can achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. So the Supreme Lord is so kind. He gives the benediction to those who desire to become an animal to enjoy the material happiness. So Lord confirms in Bhagavad Gita, I offer whatever they desire. Hare Krishna.
Okay, very good. So let me also summarize verse number 14. So I'll do this for each of the verse. So the subject matter, what Mother Chandra Aunty gave is also okay. And one of the subject matter or the suitable title for this verse number 14 is less intelligent desires. From Srila Prabhupada, key points are that there are two kinds of devotees, one with material desires and those who desire nothing other than devotional service. The example of Indra becoming a hog is given that material pleasure is compared to a hog eating stool, and still materialistic people don't want to leave the material life. And Kardama Muni condemns such materialistic desires because sense gratification is available even to cats and dogs. Plus, one misses the chance to attain perfection of going back home to Godhead. Pseudo-spiritualists incorrectly advise to enjoy sense gratification, plus simultaneously chant some mantra to attain perfections. Such persons are described as those whose brains are spoiled because they aspire for material enjoyment by perfection of yoga. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, intelligence of those who worship demigods is spoiled. And Kardama Muni is making the same point in this verse number 14, that those who aspire for material enjoyment by practice of yoga have spoiled their brain substance. Intelligent practitioner of yoga should aspire for nothing else but to cross over the ocean of nescience by worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrendering at his lotus feet. That's a quick summary of verse number 14. Any questions, comments, realizations? Shivangi?
Krishna Prabhuji, it's probably a very basic question, but I'm just getting this question now. Why is everybody in the material world attracted to the sex life? Because isn't why? Basically, why is the question?
Because we want to enjoy our body and senses. That's why we came to the material world. And this bodily attachment, it's not just the sex desire. Now, sex desire is the most powerful, over-enlarging, over-consuming activity that keeps us bound in the material world. So the way Krishna has designed the material body and the material world is that material body is made up of nothing but largely water and all these other great five elements. And it is a jail, but nobody wants to leave this jail. And if you look at the material world jail, everybody has broken every single jail at some point of time, the prisoners. But this material body is a jail, but nobody wants to leave this jail, this body, because that default attraction is built in the body, just as gravity by default, it will keep pulling you down. Similarly, we have discussed this in Bhagavad Gita 3.42, that our body is built with that default setting to be attracted to sense and sense objects so that we are bound in this material world. And only those few who really aspire to go back home to Godhead, they will not have any inclination for enjoying material body in any way, not just sex way, but any way, even say to enjoy, to eat something or go here and there to some sightseeing place. So they know that everything here is temporary, is the attraction of Maya, but they are all attracted to the lotus feet of the Lord. Only those are the pure devotees. Shivangi?
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, very good practical inquiry. That yes, why are we not going away from here? Because this is our default setting. And we have discussed this in Bhagavad Gita chapter 14 also, that if we want to change something, the default setting, say, when you get a new cell phone comes with a default setting, the ringtone, and if you don't like the ringtone, then you have to consciously do something. So that's what we have to do with our life as well, that it has the default setting of being attracted to the senses and sense objects, and we have to take to devotional service to change that default setting. Everybody on the same page?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay, verse number 15, Uncle.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, desiring to marry a girl of like disposition, who may prove be veritable cow of plenty in my married life, to satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything. For you, you are like a desire tree. Hare Krishna. Based on my realization, I have jotted down. The first one is what is the intention of the subject matter or title. To realize Lord Krishna, a source of everything, like the tree who confirms benediction. The second one is subject matter of the prayer or title for the prayer. Supreme Personality of Godhead offers benediction on whatever one aspires, he fulfills. For example, Kardama Muni desired to marry a girl of similar disposition, that is frame of mind, to assist him in spiritual and material advancement. Now the third one is key points. Purpose of similar disposition is essential in all the following three factors, namely, 1, religion, 2, economic development, and 3rd, sense gratification, because they are long-lasting and one can live peacefully. Whereas in Kali Yuga, it is based on beauty, divorce and separation is frequent when there is deficiency in their sex life. By the mercy of Lord Krishna's blessing, people are most blessed and fortunate to have a reasonable wealth, good children, and most importantly, a very good wife. I must acknowledge I am one among the blessed to have that status. The third one, there are three classes of men. One seeks fulfillment of material desire. The second one, to be one with the Supreme. And the third, a perfect devotee, not asking anything in return from Supreme Personality Godhead, except to render transcendental loving service, which Kardama Muni set an example to us, message to us, despite strong desire for material engagement, by worshipping Krishna, gradually a pure devotee becomes a strong Krishna conscious person, and he keeps away from strong material desires. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so let me also summarize. So the subject matter of verse number 15 prayer is partner with like disposition. And the key points from Srila Prabhupada's purport are that Srila Prabhupada answers why it is important to have a partner of like disposition whose thoughts match with each other, because wife is necessary for spiritual and material advancement. In the previous unit, previous chapters, we have discussed that why external attributes should not be the criteria for selecting a partner. We have discussed this with Kashyapa Muni's interaction with Diti in the previous chapters, that how a right wife one can achieve dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So that's the material side. And in today's times, one chooses spouse based on external attributes, and therefore it results in divorce. Now a question may come up that if wife of same disposition is what Kardama Muni wanted, then he could have approached a demigod like Uma or Parvati. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada quotes the verse, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10, Akama sarva kamava moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. That whether one has material desires, whether one has no material desire, or whether one is desiring liberation, one must by all means worship the supreme whole, the personality of Godhead. That's a quick summary of verse number 15. Questions, comments, realizations?
Prabhuji, I seek a clarification.
Yeah.
Here in purport, Karna Muni could have asked his benediction from Uma. Uma means Lord Shiva here, he means Uma Maheshwar.
Uma, I don't think Uma is Shiva's wife, but I don't know the details. I'm just going by my contaminated memory. I don't know exactly whether Uma is the wife of Shiva. I mean, Shiva has so many incarnations. I don't know, unless somebody knows who can share. But Parvati, yes, is. Uma, I don't know. Anybody knows? Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Shivangi.
Prabhuji, is it not okay to approach the demigods, like if you consider them as a devotee, and if you're, asking for devotional service or something like that?
So if you ask demigods devotional service, that is okay. But that's why Prabhupada is explaining in here that what's the point of approaching demigods? And therefore, I quoted what Prabhupada has said, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Shivangi, you want to read 2.3.10 translation?
Yes, Prabhuji, 1 minute.
You can bring up on screen. Okay, yeah, read.
A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the supreme whole, the personality of Godhead.
Right, so Bhagavatam is clearly saying that even if you have material desires, go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we have discussed at great length about demigod worship, that it is done in a wrong way. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.23 purport, the last line, that there is no need to worship demigod. So you tell me, why do you want to go to demigods if Krishna is going to fulfill your same material desires? We have discussed that going to demigods, the doors of bhakti does not open. But if you go with the same material desire to the Lord, then yes, he will fulfill your material desires in a way. The example we have discussed is that a mother will give a healthy sweet to the child so that the child's desire is fulfilled as well as the teeth are not spoiled. Plus, going to the Lord, the doors of bhakti are opened. Shivangi?
Yes, Prabhuji, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Verse number 16, Dipanshu.
Hare Krishna. 16. O my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned soul, as if bound by the rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you who are eternal time. So the title for this verse would be Desires and Devotion, or Kardama Muni's request for marriage. And for the summary and the key points for this purport are the Supreme Lord is the master and leader of all the living entities and also a provider for all living beings who depend upon his mercy. Also, in Katha Upanishad, it is stated that all living entities are dependent on the mercy of Supreme Lord for their necessities and desires. And in the purport, Prabhupada also states that not everyone is competent to be liberated from material bondage. So it is therefore everyone's duty to enjoy according to his present position, but under the direction of the Lord or the Vedas. And the ultimate goal of human life is to follow the Vedic regulation, live a pious life and surrender to the Supreme Lord Krishna to achieve spiritual realization and perfection. Hare Krishna.
Okay, very good. I will only clarify one point, what Dipanshu Prabhu said, that it says to enjoy. It doesn't say anywhere that one should enjoy at the material level. Okay. So let me clarify or explain the key points for prayer from verse number 16. The subject matter is bound by Brahmaji's instruction. So in the previous verse number 14 and 15, Kardama Muni condemned material desires. But then Kardama Muni is also making material desires of a wife. And therefore the Lord may ask, well, you are condemning material desires, but then why don't you worship me without material desires? So therefore, Kardama Muni is making this prayer. He's saying that I have a purpose to create progeny, to widen the population, to satisfy Brahmaji's instruction. And Prabhupada says that not everyone is competent to be liberated from bondage. Kardama Muni is not in bondage. But Kardama Muni had a clear understanding that I am not asking material desires to enjoy. Rather, I am asking the material desire of a wife to satisfy Brahmaji's instruction. And by satisfying Brahmaji, Kardama Muni is satisfying the Lord, because it's the Lord's instruction coming to Brahmaji and from Brahmaji coming to Kardama Muni. Hence, this Kardama Muni's material desire of a wife is actually to serve the Lord. And we will soon discuss in this chapter, not in this chapter, but later on in this unit, that as soon as Lord Kapila appeared as the son of Kardama Muni and Devahuti, Kardama Muni gave up everything and renounced everything and said, my duty is done. I got married to procreate. Now the son is there. Son will take care of Devahuti. My task is accomplished. I am leaving. And he actually left. So this is very important to understand, and this will continue our discussion in the later part of the verses as well. That Kardama Muni's seemingly material desire is not material desire, but he is bound by Brahmaji's instruction. Questions, comments, realizations?
So Prabhuji, it's not a material desire. It's a devotional desire, basically.
It is, yeah, definitely Kardama Muni's seemingly material desire to get a wife of like disposition is not for his enjoyment. Kardama Muni is asking for this wife for executing or pleasing Brahmaji's instruction, means pleasing Brahmaji, as well as in turn pleasing the Lord. Therefore, this is a devotional desire. Shivana, everybody?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, verse number 17 is very important. Multiple devotees will be doing this verse. Shalini?
Hare Krishna. Text 17, translation. However, persons who have given up stereotyped worldly affairs and the beastly followers of these affairs and those who have taken shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet by drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in discussions with one another can be freed from the primary necessities of the material body. So the title here, which I've put is Umbrella of the Lord's Lotus Feet. Key points from the purport. Materialistic people and their followers follow animalistic life and they do not take the shelter of the Lord. Whereas devotees of the Lord do not care for bodily necessities, they give up bad association and take up the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet and mutually discuss Krishna Katha or glorious pastimes of the Lord. We should take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which is like an umbrella against the sun of repeated birth and death. And we should give up the conditional life and association of materialistic people. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very good. So Kalyani is also going to present. I'm going to play her recording. That's super excellent that to do the recording. And then I will summarize.
Hare Krishna Prabhujis and Matajis, thank you for giving me the opportunity to summarize Sloka 17 from Canto 3, Chapter 21. Title, Freedom from the Fire of Material Existence through the Reign of Krishna Consciousness. Constant transmigration of the soul from one body to another is the cause of suffering in material existence. This conditional life in material existence is called samsara, which can be compared to a forest fire. A forest fire takes place automatically without anyone's endeavor by the friction of dry wood, and no fire department or sympathetic person can extinguish it. The raging forest fire can be extinguished only when there is a constant downpour of water from a cloud. Hence, here the cloud is compared to the mercy of the spiritual master. By the grace of the spiritual master, the cloud of the mercy of the personality of Godhead is brought in. And then only when the rains of Krishna consciousness fall, can the fire of material existence be extinguished. Hence, to summarize, in order to find freedom from the stereotyped conditional life of material existence, one has to take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, not in the manner in which the impersonalists indulge, but one has to engage in devotional service by chanting, hearing the activities of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Okay, both of them did super excellent. Let me summarize. These are very important words. So the subject matter of prayer, verse number 17 is surrendered souls will be liberated. The key points from Srila Prabhupada's purport are that materialistic people, if they gave up stereotype activities and take up Krishna Katha, then they can be relieved. Now, Lord might have questioned that Kardama, although you are trying to fulfill Brahmaji's instruction, still there are others like Sanat Kumaras, Srila Narad Muni, for higher purpose, they transgressed the rules and they transgressed fulfilling the order of Father Brahmaji. And they transgressed fulfilling orders of higher authority for some higher purpose. Then why you, Kardama, also don't follow the path of Sanat Kumara and Srila Narad Muni? So Kardama Muni's intention is that I want to fulfill Brahmaji's instruction and simultaneously surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, just as Priyavrata Maharaj did. Now, Priyavrata Maharaj, when he was not married, he had taken up renunciation and he was situated at the level of Paramahamsa. Then Priyavrata Maharaj got married upon the instruction of Brahmaji Swayambhava Manu that this is Lord's instruction. And therefore, first Priyavrata Maharaj had refused. He said, no, I am renounced. But then Brahmaji had to convince him that, no, this is Lord's advice, instruction. And that's how Brahmaji convinced Priyavrata Maharaj to accept Grahastha order. So after getting into Grahastha life also, Priyavrata Maharaj continued to be at the level of Paramahamsa. And Kardama Muni, what he's saying is that I don't want to follow Sanat Kumara's and Srila Narad Muni's path because Kardama Muni heard that Brahmaji got displeased from Sanat Kumaras. And Kardama Muni has a different thinking. He says that what happiness will I get if I disobey the orders of my father Brahmaji? That if I give sorrow to my father by not fulfilling the orders, then what happiness am I to get? Hence, Kardama Muni says in this verse number 17 that although those who accept materialistic way of life, but if these materialistic people give up the stereotype worldly affairs and they take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord by discussing Krishna Katha constantly, then they can be freed from all kinds of attachment. So the purpose of prayer in verse number 17 is that Kardama Muni says that I may not follow the path of Sanat Kumaras or Srila Narad Muni, and it may appear that I am like an ordinary materialistic person living in a Grahastha ashram. But still, together with the Grahastha ashram, I will be surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord and I will be engaged in discussing Krishna Katha constantly. Therefore, Kardama Muni will go on to say that time does not affect devotees and I can continue to hear Lord's pastime and thus I will not be affected. And this is the confidence Kardama Muni has, and this is the essence that seemingly looks like he is entering into a materialistic grahastha life, but he is simultaneously surrendered onto the lotus feet and he will constantly hear Krishna Katha. Therefore, he is not like the stereotype materialistic person. Questions, comments, realizations? Okay, verse number 18, Mother Jija. So Mother Jija has a slide and I will play the slide on the screen while she is doing the presentation.
Hare Krishna. Canto 3, text 21, verse 18. Translation. Your wheel, which has 3 tails, rotates around the axis of the imperishable Brahman. It has 13 spokes, 360 joints, 6 rims, and numberless leaves carved upon it. Though its revolution cut short the time of the entire creation, this wheel of tremendous velocity cannot touch the lifespan of devotees of the Lord. A suitable title for this verse is Power of Devotional Service. The subject matter is devotional service for this prayer. Key points for this verse is devotional service saves us from the greatest danger of transmigration of the soul from one body to another. That is the cause of suffering in the material existence. Without the mercy of Sri Krishna, one cannot stop the cycle of birth and death, and the time factor cannot touch the life of a devotee, a Krishna Bhakta. That is the power of pure devotional service. Just now we learned that Kardama Muni knew that time cannot touch his life. I have explained this verse in 3 drawings. The first one is the greatest danger, the transmigration of the soul. Dehinos min yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantar prapta dhiras tatra na muhaiti. So the greatest danger is the transmigration of the soul from one body to another. So how do we overcome this? We are always in the material world. I, me, and mine are the most interesting material things a person likes. He's always involved in me and mine. Such persons who are in the materialistic world must repeat the cycle of birth and death. But those who are Krishna conscious, their only aim is Krishna. Their whole world is Krishna. Only Krishna Prema Bhakta is a true devotee. Time factor does not touch his lifespan, and Krishna takes care of him. If he goes one step towards Krishna, Krishna comes 10 steps towards him and looks after him. Drawing to, how do we go near Krishna? So our spiritual guru helps us to go near Krishna. In figure 2, we see that Srila Prabhupada Ji is our Jagat Guru who guides us. Tad Guna Vada Siddhu. That means he helps us to go near Krishna by chanting the glories of Krishna and doing prayers and listening to Krishna Katha. So it is stated that when the sun rises and sets, it takes away many lives, takes away the life of all living entities, but it cannot take the life of those who are engaged in devotional service. We see that the Lord, Sun God, is bowing down to a spiritual master. The wheel, the time factor cannot act upon a Krishna Bhakta. This wheel is of tremendous velocity and it cannot touch the life of Krishna Bhakta. Harim Veena Nas Sritim Taranti. That is, the mercy of Sri Krishna helps us a lot. It helps us to stop the cycle of birth and death, and our devotion helps us to reach the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and others.
Okay. Questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay.
As usual, Geja Mother's presentation is super excellent, and her drawings, it is just, when she's explaining, it is so vivid for us to have a look and see what she's drawn, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Mother.
Wonderful drawing.
Shivangi?
Prabhuji, I like that Mataji captured the detail on the wheel. I think the verse was saying there's embedded leaves or something on the wheel. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Jija's drawings are out of the world. Okay, very good. I don't think I have anything to add, but the Jija anyway did a very good presentation for verse number 18. But let me add a couple of points, or not add, but just say. So the subject matter of prayer number 18 is time does not affect devotees. And key points from Srila Prabhupada's purport is that we have discussed this also in Canto 2, that with every rising of sun, the duration of life reduces, except for those in Krishna Katha. So devotees are not affected by time, that when to leave the body at the right time or the wrong time. Does not matter to them. Krishna takes care of devotees. So I can be continued to hear Krishna Katha and I will not get affected. This confidence, this is the kind of confidence Kardamoni has, and therefore he decided to enter into Grahastha ashram. Questions, comments, realizations? Verse 19, Shalini.
Hare Krishna. Text 19, translation. My dear Lord, you alone create the universes. O personality of Godhead, desiring to create these universes, you create them, maintain them, and again wind them up by your own energies, which are under the control of your second energy called Yogamaya. Just as a spider creates a cobweb by its own energy and again winds it up. So the title which I have given here is The Lord is Personal and Sentient. The key points: the Lord is personal and is the creator of material and spiritual energy, just like the spider. The spider creates a web and then destroys it on its own. Similarly, the Lord can create all universes and again they can go back to him. Second point, God can hear the prayers and fulfill the desires of devotees. Next point, Lord is Sachidananda Vigraha, the form of bliss, knowledge, and eternity. Hare Krishna.
Okay, super excellent. Bang to the points. So the subject matter of prayer number verse 19 is Lord is creator, maintainer, destroyer of universes. And key points is that Lord is personal. When he manifests material energy, does not mean he becomes impersonal. The example of a spider web is given, that the spider creates the web and the spider still remains separate. And later on, when the spider wounds the web down, the spider still remains. And similarly, Lord remains even after the material universes are wound up. Lord uses his Maya for certain purposes to fulfill. By this, the Lord does not become impersonal. Lord is always a person. Questions, comments, realizations? Okay, Shivangi, verse 20.
Hare Krishna. My dear Lord, although it is not your desire, you manifest this creation of gross and subtle elements just for our sensual satisfaction. Let your causeless mercy be upon us, for you have appeared before us in your eternal form, adorned with a splendid wreath of tulsi leaves. Subject matter of the verse: Lord's unwillingness to create the material world. Some key points is that Krishna is so kind that he allows the sense-enjoying living entities a separate world created by him to enjoy as they like, yet at the same time he appears in his personal form. It's clear that he does not like to create this material world and that he unwillingly creates it for us. He even descends himself or sends one of his servants to give instructions and reclaim the misguided fallen souls back home, back to him. Hare Krishna.
Okay, super excellent. Again, bang to the point. So the subject matter of prayer in verse 20 is material world to satisfy Jiva's desire. And I only have one key point from Srila Prabhupada's purport, that Lord has created this material world not for his enjoyment, but to fulfill Jiva's desires. Okay, questions, comments, realizations? Sridhar Kalyani, verse number 21. seems Sridhar Prabhu is disconnected right now. Radha Shakti, can you please read verse number 21 and then I will explain.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes. I continuously offer my respectful obeisances onto your lotus feet, of which it is worthy to take shelter, because you shower all benedictions on the insignificant, to give all living entities detachment from fruitive activity by realizing you. You have expanded these material worlds by your own energy.
So the subject matter for verse number 21 is obeisances unto your lotus feet. I mean, the purport is pretty long. I will only highlight one key point, that to give detachment to all, you, O my Lord, have expanded these material worlds by your energy. That when somebody takes shelter at your lotus feet, you shower all benedictions on to that soul. There can be many points. The purport is a little longer, but I will pause here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, one request, if you can please repeat this, Prabhu.
Okay. So the subject matter for verse number 21 is obeisances unto your lotus feet. The key point is that to give detachment to all, you have expanded these material worlds by your energy. And those who surrender unto your lotus feet, you shower all benedictions onto that soul. Okay, last prayer, Chandran Prabhu, 22.
Hare Krishna. Text 22. Maitreya resumed, sincerely extolled in these words. Lord Vishnu, shining very beautifully on the shoulders of Garuda, replied with words as sweet as nectar. His eyebrows moved gracefully as he looked at the sage with a smile full of affection. The title can be Lord's graceful smile at the sage or words as sweet as nectar. And the crux of the matter is Lord's mercy is required to satisfy any desire. Only the mercy of the Lord, even the sage can see the beauty of the Lord. His sounds of spiritual word is nectarian and eternal. Devotee praises glories of the Lord, and the Lord is satisfied. His benediction is causelessly merciful towards his devotee. This is what I understand. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, super excellent. So the subject matter for verse number 22 is Lord is satisfied. Chandan Prabhu anyway summarized it very nicely, the key points, that the Lord, hearing all these prayers, is satisfied and is looking at Kardama Muni with a smile full of affection. And from the next verse onwards, the Lord will actually speak to Kardama Muni. Questions, comments, realizations? So what is your experience with this exercise? So of course, this exercise was out of your comfort zone. What is your experience with this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
To be in touch with Krishna Katha and pastime.
Okay. Shalini?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. No, personally, while doing this exercise, for me, the realization was like, like what prayers are there and, where exactly I am and where I have to go, Prabhu. Like this
very
was really,
good. Yeah, very
this is
good.
eye-opener, Prabhu. Very good exercise, Prabhu. Thank you.
Rest of you, everybody should
Yes.
explain, and then I will speak about your endeavor.
Yes, Prabhuji, even for me, it was like a, confusion. I don't know what I am going to do. Then, as you said, with the details what you have given, the title and all those intention, in that point when you start reading, I could get some connection, and I could able to understand, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Really quite easy to
Chandran
understand.
Prabhu?
Prabhuji, if you ask to read 21 or 22 or from 13 to 22, we read shallow and we never go deep into that. And because you are given an exercise, we want to analyze. This is an analytical report and really very helpful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, very good. So you should be reading all verses like this, not only when I give exercise. Okay, very good. Rest of you, everybody should please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, through this exercise, I will always remember that the verse number like 3.2.16 that I gave presentation on this one. I will specifically remember this verse.
Very good.
Next.
Rest of you, quickly. Those who have not spoken.
Prabhuji helps us to remember the verse.
Okay.
Prabhuji, swimming, there is a saying, when you want to swim in your own style, you jump into the river and then start learning.
Okay.
So similarly, you have given this exercise so that we do research and development in that.
Okay, very good.
And imagine, and food for thought is provided by Prabhupada's purport and translation.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful exercise.
Yeah, Prabhupada's purport has everything that you need. Very good. Shivangi, Sridhar Prabhu, Kalyani.
Prabhuji, it was good for me, Prabhuji. It was similar to the unit presentations, just a good summarizing exercise to get to the essence of the verse.
Yeah, very good. Sridhar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. It was a good exercise, Prabhu. As Shivangi said, it's how we do it for unit-wise presentation, chapter-wise. It is a good insight for this particular verse, Prabhu.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Very good. So let me give you some feedback to all of you. I mean, for Mother Jija, I have no feedback, or maybe even Shalini and Shivangi, Kalyani, and Chandan Prabhu also did very good presentations. When Dipanshu uncle and Mother Chandra auntie also did very good presentation. I want all of you to remember one thing, that I want all of you to go back and listen to the recording, that the subject matter for the prayer cannot be a long sentence. Subject matter has to be concise, few words. It cannot be a long sentence. If you say the subject matter is, and if you say one or two lines to it, I am already lost. So when I give you exercises like this, put on the hat of a preacher, that you are standing on the street and you are trying to preach a particular verse to somebody. You will realize you only have 30 seconds or 60 seconds for somebody to hear and make a decision to agree or disagree with you. So this exercise is not for you to go on talking and talking and talking and talking. The intention of the prayer is that subject matter should be very concise And the key point should be bang to the point. Correct. Now, yes, if you look at verse number 17, I already said that verse number 17 was very long. It's basically the crux of the whole prayers. These 10, 12 verses was verse number 17, that he started by saying something material and non-material desires, and then goes on to explain why I'm doing. That crux was verse number 17, which can require a longer time to discuss. I understand. But if you actually hear Shalini and Kalyani, they did it spectacularly in 1 or 2 minutes. So that's what should be our focus. Now, this exercise of finding the subject matter and the key points from Srila Prabhupada, you can take this template and apply for all prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam. And you can make a chart for yourself, like here's the canto, chapter, verse, subject, and key points, and just keep it for yourself that whenever you are say traveling or something, you can just refer to these very, very important prayers. For example, these prayers are important, or I mean, all prayers are important. Can do the same for Kunti Maharani prayers from Canto 1, Chapter 8, or Bhishmadev prayers from Canto 1, Chapter 9, or then Prahlad Maharaj prayers will come in Canto 7, or Brahmaji's prayers will come in Canto 10. You can do this for all important prayers. I mean, Srimad Bhagavatam is essentially prayer after prayer after prayer, but you can do this for all the prayers. And that's the intention of this exercise. So I literally took you out of your comfort zone. If you actually hear this recording, and all of you should listen to this recording, actually hear the recording and our discussion for verse number 17, that essentially is the crux of these 10, 12 prayers, that 10, 12 verses, the prayers of Kardama Muni. But he's just laying a foundation for each verse. That, okay, he starts by material desires, that I want like-minded with a wife of like disposition. Seems material desire, but it is not material desire. It is actually devotional, that I want to satisfy Brahmaji and please the Lord. And the result comes in the later part of the verse, that the Lord is satisfied. Essentially, I summarized that in all the verses in 3 lines. So that's what we have to come to the level at. That should be our goal. That when you are preaching, should be able to explain the subject matter in few words and the key points in few words for a particular verse that you are pointing out. Questions, comments, realizations? Everybody, feedback on feedback.
In a nutshell, you want to condense and give the essence of it.
Correct. So we have discussed this in Bhagavad Gita at the start. We have discussed, is question important, is answer important? What's the discussion we have had for that? All of you have attended that?
Both are important, Prabhu. Question
Okay.
also.
Okay, both are important. Then what do you do? How much time on each?
No, question may be large, but answer should be short.
Okay, answer should be to the point. Okay, and why do I keep talking and talking and talking about the question or what I like to talk? All of you have attended this discussion. Why do I keep talking?
Because I like to hear my own voice.
Because of my bodily attachment, I like to hear my own voice. Therefore, I like to talk and talk and talk. So go back. Actually, you should go back and read these verses again, and you will realize that actually you can condense these all prayers in 1 or 2 sentences. Like verse number 17 is different because I already said it's a important and a heavy point. Otherwise, you can condense this in a very brief manner. Is that possible for you all?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I just had one question, Prabhu.
Yeah.
This is for the 21st verse, which you were explaining. To give detachment to all, you have expanded material world by your energy.
Yeah.
So to give detachment to all, Prabhu, we are all getting attached to it.
Very good. That material world is a prison house and a hospital. That I have this enjoying mentality, and material world is meant to cure my enjoying mentality so that I become detached from this material world and go back home to Godhead. That's what it says, that you have created this material world not for your enjoyment, but for Jiva's desires, but then it also plays the role of reformation, that it is a hospital. Material world is also a hospital. Shivangi and Dipanshu Prabhu heard this not too long ago, just last week, last week at the Sheesh Upanishad class, invocation prayers. Kalini.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a little over 15 minutes now. We won't be able to cover all the verses from verse number 23 onwards, and they are all again linked verses, plus there is a heavy conversation coming up. So if you are all okay, we can stop here, or we can use the time. If you have any questions, comments, realizations, or whatever you think is right, I can serve you accordingly. Any suggestions?
Would
Anyone?
you please repeat verse number 21 that you said that material world is for created, expanded for Jiva satisfaction. Once again, the entire thing, if you can.
Yeah. So verse number 21, the subject matter is obeisances unto your lotus feet. And key point is that the Lord gives detachment to all, and that he has expanded this material world by his energies. And those who surrender to the lotus feet, the Lord showers all benedictions onto the soul. Uncle?
Thank you.
How do you want me to serve you for the rest? About 15 minutes? Are we okay to stop here, or you have any questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just one realization for me, which whenever we are doing the prayers, Prabhu, Kunti Maharani's prayers and Bhishma Dev, when I was doing this also, I was going back, recollecting those, like, at a pure devotee level, how it is and how they're serving the Lord, Prabhu. It's like I keep getting insights for myself, where I am and where we have to go, Prabhu.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam, that it will show you where you are, as well as will show you where you have to go, as well as will show you the process of how to get to where you have to get to. Very good realization. So yes, this is how we are supposed to read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are not reading Srimad Bhagavatam to put a tick mark. No, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam to relish, and we have discussed this, to relish Srimad Bhagavatam means what I can apply from each chapter for myself so that it gets engraved in me. So many of you have heard Srimad Bhagavatam lectures besides our discussion. And you can, if you have something to share for the benefit of everyone, that no, we are not reading Srimad Bhagavatam for the sake of putting a tick mark. We are here to relish. Anybody wants to, those of you who have been hearing Srimad Bhagavatam throughout, wants to share some comparative discussions? Somebody? No? Don't feel shy. It's our practice ground. Many of you have been hearing. You have anything to share? Scared? You don't have to be scared.
What's the question, Prabhuji?
So many of devotees present here, they have been hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from other sources. So just a comparison that it's not a matter of putting a tick mark that I heard Srimad Bhagavatam for today, but we are here to relish. So that's what those of you who have been hearing, just want to hear comparisons of what you have been doing versus what we are doing here. Okay.
Prabhuji, as far as I am concerned, all these sessions, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, what I have been listening. First of all, the realization how much I have missed in life of this nectarian divine knowledge. Another thing, how much time is left. Even in this, it is not late to realize how to be more civilized, how to be concerned with other jivas, even a cat or a dog or a bird or anything. In fact, I was traveling day before yesterday. The taxi driver told me, you are keeping fit. I said, I'm a vegetarian. That is the reason. Then he said one foreigner was traveling with him from Switzerland. And he told him he's a vegetarian. This driver was surprised to hear a white man saying that he is vegetarian. Then he told him, what is the reason you are a vegetarian? He said, I don't have the stomach as a cemetery. By killing other things and then eating it for my survival.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good. So don't feel bad that you have missed out. You are just joining at the right time and just continuing on. So it's okay. Shivangi?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I took some time to think about your question. Before starting the Bhagavad Gita classes, in the very beginning, you told us to stop listening to other sources. Before, I was listening to, from ISKCON only, lectures on Srimad Bhagavatam, and it was like way beyond my level of understanding. So I was not really understanding it. I was just more like, I was listening, and now we're studying like this systematically, Bhagavad Gita, then Srimad Bhagavatam. The approach to the learning is definitely very different. It's like the focus is now more on myself, like the microscope is like turning inside now. Before I used to just kind of listen and be like, oh wow, this is so great. But now it's different. Now there's actually some work to do on myself.
Yeah, very good. So that's transformation. Yeah, so that Shivangi said, yeah, I'm just listening. That's a tick mark, right? So we are not just putting a tick mark. where actually what Shivangi correctly pointed out, there's some work for me to do on myself. That's what transformation is that Srimad Bhagavatam will do for all of you, if you endeavor in the right way. So a new batch of Srimad Bhagavatam is starting the week of 20th July, Saturday, at batch number 3 and 4. So you can please spread the word around. For those of you who think are ready, Radha Shakti, I know you are now in a different city. So if there are some in your area or you yourself, so a new batch will start on 20th July, the week after Rath Yatra in Toronto. So you can please do the needful. Radha Shakti.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hello, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so
Yes, I heard what you said, Prabhuji.
okay, yeah, so you can spread the word around.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please give the details of the timings as well.
Yeah, I will send it to you. I mean, it will get posted in the WhatsApp group as well, but I will send it to you anyway. Dipanshu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Since the new batch is starting, so we are already on Canto 3 in this batch, and should I join that one as well, or what should I do? I'm confused.
So you are anyway there on batch 3 and 4, so you can join both classes simultaneously if your time permits. It does not hurt you at all. I mean, you are continuing, so you have at least some connectivity with what is going on now, and simultaneously you can join from the start. The overview class, it's going to be an eye-opener. There'll be two overview classes where you are going to get a homework. So many of you, including say Dipanshu Prabhu, they have heard Srimad Bhagavatam for so long. The homework question will become an eye-opener from the overview.
Okay, Prabhuji. So what would be the timing of that batch?
It's the same batch 3 and 4 where you are studying Sri Upanishad. It will be same Saturdays, 11:15 Toronto time. It will be 8:45 p.m. India time.
Okay, I will join both of the classes.
You are anyway there. You are anyway there on the batch 3 and 4.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Are we okay to stop here now? Oh, so homework. So go back to reading the same prayers now that you have an understanding. So read all the purports again, and you can come to explaining each verse properly, and read rest of chapter 21 and focus on verse number 28. That's a heavy discussion. It's a continuation of verse number 17 discussion about the material desires. So that's a pretty heavy verse. We'll spend a bulk of our time on verse number 28 at our next class. So read with this mindset that we discussed today about having to summarize in brief and seeing a flow of what is going on. Everybody okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, true.
Okay. If you want, I can give you 2 homework questions. Okay, let me give you 2 homework questions also. Explain the significance of the phrase like disposition. Comes from verse number 15. Second question. Who can be freed from primary necessities of material body? Comes from verse number 17. And of course, as I said, read the rest of chapter 21 with a focus. Okay, we will stop here now. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
See, question padi modalla sir, hey.